Imagine it's noon, bright sunny day. You're outside, maybe scrolling on your phone, not touching grass. And then, the sun just clicks off. Like someone hit a giant cosmic light switch. No clouds, no eclipse. 1 second it's daylight, the next second the sky is black. So what happens if the sun turns off for 24 hours? And then comes back like nothing happened? First, what do we actually mean by turns off? In this scenario, the sun doesn't explode, it doesn't vanish, it doesn't move. It's still there, same size, same gravity. It just stops shining. No light, no heat, like a star on standby mode. We'll also say this happens instantly, and after exactly 24 hours it pops back on. Also instantly, no slow fade, just click and click. The first 8 minutes are weird. When the sun turns off, we don't notice right away, because sunlight takes about 8 minutes to reach Earth. So for 8 minutes, everything looks normal, while a pitch-black future is already on its way toward us at light speed. Space horror, but delayed. Then, all at once, the sun disappears from the sky. The blue sky turns to near black. Stars and maybe even the Milky Way pop out. In the middle of the day, people would absolutely panic. Traffic would go crazy. Planes would call air traffic control. Social media would melt faster than ice cream in July. Power grids would feel it too. Solar panels drop to zero instantly. Some places that rely heavily on solar power would scramble to switch to backup energy. But what about the temperature? Do we all freeze solid in one day? Not that fast. Earth is like a big heat battery. The ground, air, and oceans store a lot of warmth. Losing the sun is bad, but it's not like opening your freezer and everything is frozen in 3 seconds. In the first hour, not much changes. It just feels like nighttime came early. Temperatures start falling, but slowly. After 6 hours, you'd notice it. Places that were warm in the day start to feel like a chilly evening. Colder regions slide toward, I should have worn 2 jackets. After 12 hours, we're in serious winter all at once mode. Many places would be near or below freezing, especially at higher latitudes. Cities used to warm nights would suddenly feel like a cold snap hit them out of nowhere. By the full 24 hours, average temperatures could drop by tens of degrees in many regions. Oceans cool more slowly, because they're giant water tanks, but the air above land would get cold fast. If you had power and heating, you'd be okay, just uncomfortable and confused. If you didn't, that one day would feel very long. Animals and plants would be utterly confused. No sunlight means no photosynthesis. One day without it isn't enough to kill all plants. But it's like the entire biosphere hits pause. They stop making food and just wait. Animals that use daylight as a clock lose their mind. Birds roost early and then stay roosted, wondering why the sun never comes back. Nocturnal animals get one endless night, which for them is like a 24-hour rave. Predators might hunt more. Prey animals stay hidden longer and get exhausted. Humans would flip on every light we own. Cities would glow even more than usual. Energy use would spike. Some places might have blackouts from the sudden demand. Now, what about gravity? Does Earth fall out of orbit without sunlight? No. Earth orbits the sun because of its mass, not its brightness. Turning off the light doesn't turn off the gravity. So we're still circling the dark sun on the same path. We're just a planet orbiting a cold, invisible ball that's about to turn back on. There's another fun problem. The atmosphere. Right now, the sun heats the ground, and the ground heats the air. Warm air rises, cold air sinks. This movement creates wind and weather. Turn off the sun, and the heat engine slows down, winds die down, clouds might change. You'd get weird calm pockets and sharp local storms where leftover heat is still moving around. When the sun comes back on after 24 hours, it doesn't do it gently. It slams the heat button again. That sudden restart of warming would shake up the atmosphere. More storms, more sudden changes, not instant global hurricanes, but the weather would not be okay. So what's the big reveal? If the sun turned off for 24 hours, life on Earth would not end. We wouldn't freeze into a solid ice ball in one day, but it would be one of the most terrifying and disruptive days in human history. We'd get sudden, global night in the middle of the day, huge drops in temperature, especially over land, confused animals, paused plant life, and messed up ecosystems, power grid stress, panicked people, and wild conspiracy theories. And then weird weather when the sun snaps back on. The scary part isn't that one day kills us, it's how quickly we realize just how dependent everything is on that constant, boring, taken-for-granted ball of light. The sun doesn't just make it bright, it keeps our clocks, our climate, our food, our bodies, and our minds on track. One missing day would be a very loud reminder. So, if the sun flicked off for 24 hours and then turned back on, we'd survive. But no one would ever look at a sunrise the same way again. If you liked this little trip into please don't actually happen space ideas, hit like, and tell me in the comments, during that 24 hours of darkness, what would you do? And if you want more strange what-if questions answered with simple, slightly unsettling science, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Until then, maybe take a second to appreciate the sun quietly, not turning off.